GrooveCopyPro software. We'll be talking about that in just a minute. Now, Jon Benson is a legendary copywriter. He is known as the best copywriter living today for digital marketing products. And he has learned from the best, all of the legends. He studied them all. But Jon's track record has brought in over hundreds of millions of dollars for all of his clients that he's written copy for. And he has had some of the most successful campaigns that of all time on ClickBank for his clients in the health and wellness space. Jon Benson is also the creator of the VSL, known as the Video Sales Letter, and his clients pay him enormous sums of money for him to create copywriting for their program. Most of the time, they give him a piece of the company or a piece of the campaign. So what we're going to be doing every single week is different topics on headlines, bullet points, features versus benefits, scarcity, urgency, all of those different types of things. And of course, Jon Benson is creator of GrooveCopyPro, and we're partners in the company GrooveCopyPro. But what's even more exciting is we're going to jump right into the podcast. So here, live, is Mike Filsaime and Jon Benson.
All right, folks, it's not Mike Filsaime and Jon Benson. It's just Jon Benson today. So hopefully that's cool with you. Mike he's on a boat somewhere, I think. I think it's either GrooveCon or Marketers Cruise, one of the two. But it's good to be here with you all. And today I'll be filling in for both of us. I'll be filling in for Mike. I'm kind of going to split my personality in half. But today, what we're going to be talking about, if you are so willing to join, is how to use hyperfunnels to get yourself upsell scripts. Now, this is for people who need upsells, granted. But I can tell you this right now, as a marketer, as someone who's done this since 2004 online, if you do not have an upsell going on, whether that's an order bump at least, okay, so we'll look at an order bump, or preferably an upsell to a different product, then you're losing most of your revenue, and literally most of your revenue. Your front-end sales account for only a small portion of your revenue. You definitely want to have at least one, if not two, upsells on the back end. And the good thing about upsells is that you don't necessarily have to own the product. You could do an affiliate upsell. That's totally fine. And a lot of people who do that, especially in the fitness space, they do a lot of supplement upsells, and they don't make the supplement. One of my primary offers that I have live I don't make the supplement, so I just upsell it. And all I did was write the letter for it, which is coming right out of CopyPro. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very good lesson for you guys today. Now, we're not going to cover how to write an upsell because you don't have to. You have GrooveCopyPro. That's the good thing about this. What we're going to talk about is how GrooveCopyPro positions upsells psychologically, because whether or not you're ready for this now, you do need to understand the psychology of it, because eventually, if you have a front-end sale, you're definitely going to want to sell to your existing list, and you're going to want to post-sell them, okay? The psychology is going to work just the same. Now, it works a little better when it's immediately after the sale. As you see, there will be some copy that you'll have to delete, but generally, the framework will stay roughly the same. So what I want you to do, if you can, is just log into your GrooveCopyPro account right now. If you have it available, that'd be great if you can. GrooveCopyPro.com, you'll see a login button at the top, and log into your account. If you don't have that, you can just rewatch this video, and we can take questions at the end. We will dive into this right now. I want to share my screen. And give me 2 seconds here. Okay, you should see me going into Oblivion, right? And there we go. So let's get over here to screen number 2. There we go. Okay, so I'm at the homepage of GrooveCopyPro. I'm assuming that you guys can see my screen okay. And what you'll see here at the top, I always want to bring this to your attention, is if you don't find your niche inside of our niche library, our quick start niches, we can build that for you. Just click the Tell Me More button up here at the top, or email support@copypro.ai. And that's .ai for artificial intelligence. And we will get back to you. So this is a very handy feature to have, because our professional copywriters can actually tailor make a niche for you. And it does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. We have 2 different versions of this. One is very inexpensive, and one is a little expensive because it's the entire thing, but it's up to you on which one you choose. So I'm at GrooveCopyPro. I'm going to just say remind me later here so I can see the whole screen. And here's how I would find this turnkey hyperfunnel that's a mega funnel. I would go here. I would scroll down to turnkey hyperfunnel packages. Pretty simple. Click the search, and then I'm going to select this right here, the bottom one. It's the mega. Okay. The mega comes with the entire package. It comes with two different VSL upsells right here. You can see this here, a Frank Kern style order bump, the works. Okay. So I would select that, start my project. You guys know how to do all this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I would title my project, title here, and select the niche that you've created. You should have created a niche by now. If you haven't, you can use a quick start niche, and you can scroll down here and see all these niches we've already written. You can choose any one of those that you want. Just for grins, I'll choose this one, and then I will click finish. Now it's going to take about 15 minutes. Well, actually, it's more like 5 minutes. We're about 5 minutes right now, but we send this to the background. We send this in a queue to the background so that we don't take up valuable disk time, valuable speed time with our servers, so that we can serve all your other copy very, very quickly. So you'll get an email in roughly 5 minutes saying, hey, we're ready to go. And when you get that email, it's going to look just like this. I just clicked over here. I did this literally 10 minutes before the show today, and I've got my entire mega hyperfunnel right here. So let's take a look at the order bump first. Then we're going to look at this very first upsell. So as you can see, there are two upsell scripts. There's the first one and there's a second one, because we're assuming you're going to want at least two of these programs. Let's look at this order bump first. Now this is a Frank Kern style order bump, and you can see that we've got two different kinds. So here's the Frank Kern kind, and over here is this is more of a, I guess you could call it a Jon Benson kind. It's really the one that I use quite a bit, but you can use either one. So I'll let you make that decision. Now, this is a longer order bump. You can make this whole thing into one paragraph of copy. So you can just come up here and do this if you want to, but I'm going to separate it out just because it's easier for me to show. So right here, somebody has just got to my checkout page, and I've got a checkbox, preferably checked if possible, or at least blinking. If it's not blinking, you want to draw attention to it. Yes, I'll take it is the headline that we recommend. Right underneath that, a real steal it only, whatever the price is. Now for an order bump, I usually wouldn't go as high as $197, but this is just an example. The order bumps are usually $37, $67. That's why you want an upsell that can be, $400, $500, $600, $700 or more, right? So one of the fastest ways to goal is to make sure you get insider's intel. The good news is that's what this upsell is going to help you do. So that is a very simple way for you to get at least a bump. You can just add this right to your existing GrooveCopyPro checkout page, or excuse me, GrooveFunnels checkout page, and you'll be ready to go. Now, I'm going to go over here and look at the Frank Kern one here. I'm not going to save this. Now, so it's kind of funny. Actually, this one pulled up the Frank Kern one. Okay, so I said it was the Jon Benson one. It's actually the Frank Kern one, but it depends, because sometimes it will CopyPro regenerates copy all the time. So sometimes it will pull mine in, sometimes it'll pull Todd Brown's in, sometimes it'll pull Frank Kern's in. So it gives you a lot of variety. So over here is the actual Frank Kern one. It's exactly the same. So it looks just like that, and that's one paragraph long. Do check that out, because this one says, yes, guys, upgrade my order. That's more of the Frank Kern lingo. And here is our upsell script. Okay, I want to go over just a couple of positioning things with you today, and then take questions from the audience, specifically on either how to use GrooveCopyPro or anything related to the topic of upsell. So the very first thing that you want to do in an upsell is you want to say, congratulations, you've done it. And I usually use words that can range anywhere from, you've finally taken a step forward, you've chosen a savvy path. Sometimes I will say, you have everything you need to blank. Congratulations. You just got, in my case, it's my book, The 4-Day Diet. You now have everything that you need, I could say that, to start losing weight. In other words, whatever the primary goal is in this case, it's pretty obvious, it's to lose weight. That's not the point. The point is to say, however, some of you, my most successful customers, agree that, you see how I'm doing this right here? When it comes to success, you have to do something that other people won't do, right? So this is all about doing it easier. So I choose easier, faster, or done with you. Those are the three frames that I like to use for upsells. So here's another way you could phrase this. And don't worry, if you have GrooveCopyPro, you don't have to worry about phrasing it, but just in case that you don't, I want to explain the psychology. I would say, hey, congratulations, you have everything you need to know right now to lose weight with the 4-Day Diet. That means that they won't usually generally refund that, because if you say, hey, now you can get the super fast weight loss version or the mega weight loss version, that's not going to go over very well. You want your upsells to be positioned as something that is going to be extremely helpful, but not absolutely necessary to their success. So how you make that work is you say, look, you got everything you need to blank, whatever that goal is, to lose weight, to make money online, to restore your marriage, whatever. However, my most successful customers want to do it faster. They want to do it easier. They want to do it in a done with you format. They're eager. They want to get ahead faster. They want to move. So do you want to make this whole process even easier? Do you want to make this whole process even faster? Do you want to make this whole process a done with you experience? You see how that's different? So they're not losing anything necessarily by not having it, but there's going to be a very strong fear of missing out, because of course you want it done faster. Of course you want to do it easier. And a lot of people would want it done with them, right? So I position all of my upsells that way. So this one just happens to be easier. As you can see, you can click here and I can change this to faster and done for you. So we've got the 3 positions right here for you inside of GrooveCopyPro. Yes, we've thought of everything. So let's go down here. I want to take the easier tactic. You'll agree that easier is the best option, right? Okay. So now you've got an experience. You've got the opportunity to boost the effectiveness of product. So that's the other frame that I want to talk to you about. The upsells just make the primary product even more effective. It's not that the product they're missing, it's not like they don't have what they need to get their goal, but they can do it even more effectively, i.e. faster, easier, or done with them. That's the whole idea. Experience even greater results with the primary product, so you can see even better results. Then there's some sort of a hook, okay? Plus discover how you can kickstart your body's 3 most powerful fat-burning hormones. Well, that's not in my book. That's specific to this upsell offer. So that's how we frame it here. You can do it more effectively. You're going to see even better results, and the hook to your upsell. You need to have a hook, and you will need to create that, because we can't create that for you. You have to do that on your own. But the hook should be the one unique thing that they get out of the upsell. So if they're going to add something to it, it's going to complement the product without competing with the product. So let me give you that. This is a major important framing here that you have to understand. So if my product in this case is the 4-Day Diet, it's a diet book. Okay. I don't want the 4-Day Diet super diet. If that's competitive, in other words, why would I use the 4-Day Diet if I've got the super diet? That doesn't make any sense, right? But if I also say, look, would you like to reboot these hormones and get this hormonal thing going as well as the diet thing going, now it works in tandem, right? So you've got the diet, but now you got the supercharged hormones too. So that's the definition of a really good upsell. It's one that complements the primary product and does not compete with the primary product. That's exactly what we've done here. Now, notice what I do here. I open a loop as I do in most all my copy. And by the way, this is my upsell scripts. I wrote both of these, and I'm the creator of the VSL, so you can trust that they work really well. So first, I need to warn you about something. So I just switched the tenor of the conversation immediately. I'm going to show you how to do all this really cool stuff, plus my hook. My hook in this case is reboot these 3 hormones. First, I need to warn you about something that will stop you dead in your tracks when you try to do this on your own, right? So, and I go in through the strange things. I go into bad ideas. People have tried. Look, I know this will stop you dead in your tracks if you try to do this on your own. And I talk about the ugly solutions here, okay? And I talk about, this is where you're going to go into facts about this, okay? Here's a bad idea. First, before you do this, it sounds good to reboot those fat-burning hormones, but here's the wrong way to do it, and most people do it. And I talk about the wrong way to do it. Now, what am I doing here? I'm giving the customer no out except to get my product. And what I will do here is to say, look, a lot of people try X, Y, and Z, and I might say even the names of my competitors. Well, let me explain why that's a bad idea, if I believe it is a bad idea. Or some ideas that they're already trying right now for doing this very same thing. Like maybe maybe you've tried X or Y, and that's a bad idea. And I'll try to support this with studies, as I've done here. So now, and I can just go on. So now the good news is that there's something better, okay? There's something that's now this right here is a primary solution for my actual upsell. So we have a hook, which is what's the one thing, the one big benefit of the upsell in this case is to restart those fat burning hormones. And then there's the actual primary solution. That's the unique mechanism of the upsell to make it unique. So I'm making something stand out. It's all about go, rest, go. Okay. So this is my own. So I've come up with a patented trademark term that I'm using as my primary solution for this specific upsell. This has nothing to do with my primary offer. This is all about the upsell. So when you go through this, the first time you go through GrooveCopyPro, it's going to ask you to complete this. Now, if you get stuck here, you can click here and you can scroll down. You can read the example script we have here, or click this right here and watch this video. This 11-minute video on how to do an upsell. Now, this is start to finish every field inside the upsells. So watch me do this. It's almost 12 minutes long, but in 12 minutes, you'll have everything you need to know about how to do an upsell. And I guarantee you that's the best 12 minutes you'll spend in your marketing for a long time. It will tell you exactly how to do this. So I just explain what my hook means. What is this go, rest, go thing? I explain what it is. And then I talk about, at this point, we don't even need to go much further into the copy because it's already written for you. But I'm just trying to give you the psychological understanding of what you need to know, whether you use this, or not. So then I talk about exercise researcher, et cetera. So I try to prove this. And then once you click away from this page, the offer will be gone forever. Okay, so now we're getting into the pitch, right? So I'm going to offer you something right now, but once you click away, it's gone forever. Here's what I recommend that you do for your upsells. I recommend that you actually do that you actually be honest with the people and you do it. Now, I've been lazy before and haven't done it, but this is what I prefer to do. So what I prefer to do is say, look, if you leave this page, you won't see this anymore. And we can use several tools to do that. GrooveFunnels has some tools built in that I'm sure can work. There's some exterior tools like Deadline Funnels, for example, is a tool that I think integrates with GrooveFunnels that can work. But you want to make sure that you have a way to say, if they leave this page and they try to go back to it, it takes them to the same offer, but it's the full price of the offer. So every product that you have should have a discounted price and a retail price so that you can take people to the sales page and say, here's the real price of the product right here on our sales page. I have the same thing, CopyPro and CopyPro on discount. Those are two different prices. Same thing with Now VSL discounted, two different prices. If somebody spends an hour and a half with me on a workshop or on a webinar, I will give them a better deal than if somebody just hits the webpage and just buys, for whatever they buy from the website. So I recommend you doing that. And I also recommend you having your bonuses on a sales page as well. Now, this is something very few marketers do. So we've got 3 bonuses, and I recommend that you sell your bonuses. In other words, you have a sales page on somewhere that says / name of bonus that you can take people to while you're saying, look, I sell this for $497. It's right here on the sales page, but I'm giving it to you for free. I definitely recommend that you do this, that you sell this for sure. Okay, this Go Risk Go protocol, that you sell it. Okay, that you definitely sell it, and that you can take them to the page and show, look, right here, normally this is going to sell for X amount of money, but I'm going to give it to you for a deal. I haven't gotten to the actual pitch yet. It's down here. So you won't be paying $800. Okay. So I take them to a sales page and show them like an $800 value of this. Okay. But then I add in the bonuses from there before I even get to the pitch. So bonus number 1 is this. And yes, you should have bonuses for your upsells. Now, you don't have to have a lot of bonuses. You can have just one primary juicy bonus. That's cool, but you should definitely have bonuses here. And then I give them their discounted price. Okay. And then I walk them through, imagine this for a second. Again, the reason I'm going through this so fast, guys, is only because this is already in your GrooveCopyPro account. There's no reason for me to break out the copy itself. I just need to break out the psychology of the copy so that you can understand it when you're starting to fill this out. Because otherwise you might fill it out going, I don't know why I have to do this. Well, now you do. Now you've got a really good grasp on exactly why we want you to do this. So this is essentially all there is to it. Then it just goes into the final pitch. And again, we've created in such a way that you get everything easier. You get everything done for you easier. Okay. Bear in mind, et cetera. So I misspelled bear in mind. So yeah, occasionally I'll misspell things. All right. And then at the very bottom, no thanks, John. I'll pass on your generous offer today and take my chances. I realize I may never see the results I really desire, but I guess I'm okay with that. I've written some of the most crazy no thanks. So this would be the link at the bottom of the upsell. When you see the price, come down, add this to my order. It's an add to cart button, right? Underneath that, you need to have a no thank you. Most marketers just say, no, thank you. I'll pass, John, or whatever. I make them really think about clicking that no thanks. I mean, I have written some crazy stuff before. I have written things like, no thanks, John. I am content with being out of shape and hormonally deficient for the rest of my life. I do realize this is probably going to cut my life short and I will never have the fulfilling energy that I desire, But I guess I'm just okay with that. I'm okay with mediocrity. I mean, I've written things like that to where it's a long link, right? And you got to really think about clicking that link at that point. So because of that, my upsell rates go up. I gave you a good one here. It's not nearly as strong as I've written before because I didn't want to go full out with it, but it's a good one, and you can get the idea. And if you want to, you can ramp that up even further. Okay, so that's our first upsell, and then we have a second upsell here that is another upsell that you can go into. Now, notice that it comes in, it says it's going to pull in the same upsell that I have right now. So if I want a different upsell other than the Go protocol, I have to rewrite it. So I'll rewrite it, and I can change it by adding my second upsell. Is my second upsell. So I would just, now I'm not going to do all this right now because that would take too long, but this is exactly what you do. Click on your second upsell, you go through the whole thing. So all I'm going to do here is just give you the framing here. Okay. So this is the second upsell. In other words, they've either taken the first one, and once they do, they see this one, or they said, no, thank you. They click that long, no, thank you link, and it's still going to take them to this one. Right. And this one is all centered around the angle of a special tip. Let me give you a quick special tip before you dive into your main product today. This is a pro level tip. This is the top 10% of my dieters tip. Okay. So I love this framework. The top 10% of my customers or clients, if whatever you call them, find out what they're doing and make that your second upsell. Like, I've surveyed my list, my customers, and the most successful, the top 10% all do this, or most of them do this. If you build an upsell around that, that upsell will sell. It will be ridiculously successful. Okay. So the cool thing I do here is I say, hey, here's the top 10% in my core group will say, first, you must pick up that. You've got that one covered. So just a little bit of humor there. Make sure you do this. Now, this is notice this is the same exact hook that I used for my upsell one. That's because I only have one upsell in this hyper funnel. I would click here and add a second one and go onward and so forth. Okay. So this is where the hook here is. Make sure you know how to do blank without question. So there's a million things, a million different upsells I could use for a weight loss formula. So I could say, make sure you know how to stimulate your fat burning thyroid hormone. Make sure you know how to do that, and sell a supplement that would do just that. In fact, we have one that does just that. So you get the idea. But again, it's positioning is everything when it comes down to upsells. Positioning is everything. So the positioning here is that top 10% tip. That is a total winner. Really, really recommend that you totally dive into that. Now, before we get out here and we take some questions here, I know I went really fast today. I want to just go over just not the mega hyper funnel, the differences in that and the normal hyper funnel. There's just a few. The main differences are the order bumps and the upsells. So, but in here, as you can see, I've got ready to go my lead capture VSL ready to go. I've got my opt-in page ready to go. Copy and paste right into GrooveFunnels. If I want to use my longer opt-in page, I'll use this one. It's all ready to go, because I want to just reemphasize this, not because I clicked the quick start niche, because that wouldn't give you all of this. It would give you most of it. It's because I took the extra few hours it takes to fill out everything over the span of months. So I didn't do it all at once. I did it over a span of months. So as you can see, I still have something I need to fill out for my own offer in here. I have to fill out my second upsell, because I've never had to use, I've written my copy by my hand on my own, obviously. So I've never had to use it, but I will fill it in here and show you when I'll show it to you next week or something. But yeah, so I have to fill in the second upsell, but that would take me maybe about 15 minutes, and then I would have my second upsell ready to go. So I encourage you to fill in things as you need them. You're going to look at this funnel and you're going to say, I don't need 2 different ads right off the bat. I don't know, maybe need 2 different opt-in pages unless you want to split test. I don't have a free gift. Maybe you don't need every component here, but pick and choose the ones that you need. Just go through and go, oh, I can send this email out right now. Oh, I can send this email out right now. I'll cruise down here and go, oh, here's my sales letter email. I can send this out right now. This is really kick ass. It's a long email. So anyway, you get the idea. You might not need a sales page, but you got one later. So you don't need everything in here, but you do need a lot of the things in here. Scroll through, figure out what you need. But my recommendation is do the mega hyper funnel. Okay. Do the mega, make sure it says mega there. Look at the order bump, make sure you have that, and at least one of these scripts. If you had to choose between this one and this one, that's going to be a question I'm sure I'm going to get. Like, I only have one upsell, John. Which one do I choose? Well, my personal choice for that would be the first one. And the reason why is because you have more flexibility with it. You can say, I want this done with you. I want this to be faster. I want this to be easier. You have a lot. So your upsell is more flexible on how you can write it. But if you've done your homework and you have a top 10, like, you know what your top 10% of clients are doing. And you can say, you know, I've interviewed them and I've got something for you here. Let me tell you, that's a great angle. And another thing that you can consider, and this is the last tip I have for you today, and then we can get to some questions. What you can also do if you don't have an upsell and you want one, if you've got some clients or you got some customers, give away a free training session, a free online training session, and make sure you can get as many people on there as you can. And on that call, say, I'm going to give this away to my top, the people that have seen the most success. We're going to have a special prize for, you know, it can be something really simple like, hey, it's going to be a small group call with me. And you can basically send people to that call after they fill out a registration form. So here's what you do. You send out an email to your customers and go, hey, I'm giving away a special live session with me to reward my top 10 customers, my top 10 success stories of all time. So see if you qualify below, enter your results, let me know who you are, make them upload a picture, first name, last name, consent form that they can use as testimonial. Worst case scenario, you get 10 testimonials, right? But out of that, maybe you get 100 people entering this, right? And you can figure out, like, you can gauge which one of those would be considered in your top 10%. Like for weight loss, maybe it's the people that lost the most weight, just a simple number, right? Maybe it's the people in other things that you measure in a different way. But then you get everyone on a call and you see which one of those, you can feel them out, figure out which ones, because some of them might be fake, right? Figure out the real ones, and then get those people back on a call. So you got like at least 10 people now that you've narrowed down as 10 of your top clients. And you can say, I'm curious what the one thing you all had in common was. What's the one thing that you did? And go around in an open group conversation, and I will guarantee you'll find one thing, or probably more than one, but definitely one that they all had in common. And you could even ask them, okay, can I get your permission to record this for my customers? And in so doing, I will give you X, Y, and Z, give them a super special bonus, and actually run a recording of that. And you could sell that as the upsell. I've got a mastermind group with my 10 of my top performing X clients, you know, whatever it is you sell. I've got all their secrets, what they had in common, what they did, how they modified the program to make it work with them. Make that like a $97 value add-on or whatever, $197, however much you want to sell it for, and presto, you have an upsell. And you have an upsell that fits perfectly into the second upsell, the second OTO. So, okay, that's a lot to digest in 30 minutes. I'm blazing fast here, guys. So I'm going to pop back over here to the thingamajiggy, stop sharing my screen, and take some Q&A here. And this may be a much shorter lesson than we normally do because Mike isn't here and it's just me. So, but we'll take questions until we end and see what we got.
Absolutely. Very good. And I really love the idea that you just mentioned about this upsell, about the mastermind. Everybody gets to talk and you basically package it up. That's very smart.
Cool.
So for now, John, we don't have any questions, but I believe we could do a short commercial break. And in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, in case you do have any questions about copywriting or GrooveCopyPro or anything that you would like to ask John right here live, just pop the questions in the live comments right now. So we'll get back from the commercial break and we'll get them answered immediately. Okay, so let's just play the commercial break very quickly.
We hope you're enjoying this podcast. This podcast is sponsored by GrooveCopyPro. Let's find out a little more about what GrooveCopyPro is. So let's jump right in and take a look at the screen and see exactly what GrooveCopyPro is. Now, remember, Jon Benson is a copywriter that has spent years developing this software with artificial intelligence. He has taken all of his years of copywriting, along with all of the people that he's learned from and expert marketers in the industry, and has gotten them to contribute their information, such as myself, of course, and people like Ryan Dice, Harry Belcher, and of course, John Carlton, great copywriters like that. They've given their email campaigns for him to deconstruct and put into a software. The first thing I want to let you know is to click on this podcast button. When you do that there, you'll have the opportunity to enter your name and your email address so you can always get notified of Groove Copy Wednesdays. We will send you an email before it starts, and you'll never miss an episode. If you do miss an episode, you can always go down and see our latest episodes and watch our past episodes here. Now, back to the front of the site. One of the important things I want to let you know, first off, is GrooveCopyPro is a white label of the software CopyPro.ai, developed by Jon Benson. The only thing is that CopyPro.ai, you will pay more for the software. Groove members get a tremendous discount on this software, over 33% off when you buy at GrooveCopyPro.com. On top of that, you get special training from myself and my team related to GrooveCopyPro, and it's also related to the Groove platform. So save yourself some money and tie it into Groove. Now, you can learn more about GrooveCopyPro by watching this 3-minute video, but we strongly recommend you watch the webinar replay. You simply click right here and you can watch the replay, or you click this button and it'll take you over to a new page that will start the replay. As you can see here, this video, when we play it, is somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2.5 hours. Don't worry, the last hour is Q&A. Here, Jon tells you everything about the software, why it was created, but more importantly, what it does. It's too much for me to go over just in this commercial. We really want you to watch the replay. This is not Mad Libs for copywriting. This is artificial intelligence. And when you see it in action, you'll be absolutely blown away. This product sells absolutely crazy, but it is important to say this is not part of the Groove.cm platform. So if you have access to Groove.cm, this is a separate purchase. Remember, this company belongs to Jon Benson. His company is CopyPro.ai. We partnered with him on a white label to get you a discount. So you would need to buy this. Let's cut to the chase on what the price is here. You can get access to it, as you can see at the bottom of the page here, for either one payment of $997 or two payments of $597. This is something that you can use on multiple projects, multiple launches, and you'll never have to pay anything again ever to use the software. There's no monthly fees or anything. You pay one price of $997 or two payments of $597, and you own it for life. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, one of the most exciting things about GrooveCopyPro is that we have an affiliate program. All you need to do is go to GrooveCopyPro.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, and where you see right here, affiliate program, just click on that link and you can sign up for GrooveCopyPro's affiliate program, and we pay a 40% commission to you for promoting GrooveCopyPro. Click on this button, sign up for our affiliate program. We'll give you promotion tools to help you promote it, and you can make 40% commission on any sale. The way GrooveCopyPro works, I'll just scroll up to the top, is it's a SaaS platform where all you need to do is spend about an hour filling out information about who you are, what your product does, what does it solve for your customer, what problems does it solve, and what benefits does it give them. You'll go through a questionnaire, and then at the end, you can click a button, and it'll build out your funnel for you. You click a button, you say you want an email follow-up series for your affiliates, or an email follow-up series for a free report, an email follow-up series for after they buy your product. You want a video sales letter, you want a squeeze page, you want just a list of bullet points written out, you want multiple subject lines. You go through, you click a button. So what this means is you will spend about an hour one time on a Saturday going through, answering stuff that will bring out the creativity process in you. And then from there, you could click a hyperfunnel. Hyperfunnel builds your landing page, your email follow-up sequence, your JV partner emails, everything. You'll never have to write another piece of copy again once you have GrooveCopyPro. It's absolutely incredible. Please make sure to watch the webinar replay as you see here at GrooveCopyPro.com. Watch this. You won't be sorry. And that's GrooveCopyPro. All right, let's go back live and join the podcast.
There we go. That was a commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, GrooveCopyPro.com. If you don't have an account yet, you really need to make sure you get one so you can follow along, of course. We did get a couple of questions in the meantime, Jon, so I'm going to pop them up on the screen so we can answer them here. So Affiliate Strategies and Tools is asking, how would you do an affiliate VSL as a YouTube ad for an affiliate product that uses a VSL itself? Thanks.
Okay, that's a meta question. How would you
Yeah.
do an affiliate VSL for YouTube ad? Okay, for an affiliate product that uses a VSL. Okay, yeah. So first of all, I wouldn't, if I'm understanding you correctly, I wouldn't be concerned that they're using a VSL themselves. In other words, if you have a 1-minute YouTube ad going to a 40-minute VSL, it's no big deal. We'll use VSLs after VSLs after VSLs, so that I'm not too concerned about that. So how I would do that? So it's interesting you should mention YouTube ad, because I've written a pretty successful YouTube ad and kind of a pattern around it that we're thinking about adding to GrooveCopyPro, the library. But it takes 3 or 4 weeks to add a template like that degree of complexity to it. But you could use like any one of these OTOs. You could just change it to, now that you've bought X, and change that to, hey, do you want to X, whatever X is? Then I would use the top 10%. By the way, I'd use the second OTO for that one and say, so then you need to check out what the top 10% of my customers are doing. And if it's not your customers, the top 10% of avatars are doing in the space right now that are making them a total success. And then you can go in and use that as both a content ad and as well as obviously a promotional ad. But I like content ads, meaning that they're going to watch something like, hey, here's 3 tips on how to overcome back pain or whatever. And then you give them 3 tips and say, but the real secret to overcome back pain is what my top 10% of back patients are doing if you're a chiropractor or whatever. But so that's how I would position that for YouTube. So at least in the interim, that's what I would do for YouTube.
All right, awesome. We have another question. This is from Z Terry. That's a question. Jon, do you have an affiliate program for your weight loss products and supplements? I'd like to check out your thyroid product.
Thank you, Z. I did until I'd say it was a couple of months ago, when the company that I was running that on decided to do some shady stuff, and I decided to split ways with them. So, I don't put up with shady stuff. and so, yeah, I am basically, I've been so crazy busy with Groove and CopyPro and my own stuff. It's just that I haven't had time to put it back on ClickBank. But ClickBank has said, yeah, they take it back up there. So I'm going to be out. That's going to be on ClickBank right now. Fit Over 40 is on ClickBank, and that you just sign up at ClickBank as an affiliate for that, and you'd be set to go.
All right, perfect. Next question is, hi, Jon, what would you recommend if I wanted to promote different affiliate offers each week? Is there a simple way to use CopyPro to do this?
Yeah, definitely. So the promotional to promote affiliate offer, it's all about email. So what we suggest that you do is not use swipes. Okay, so they're going to send you out swipes, right? And like all marketers do. And some of those swipes have good stuff in them. And so what I recommend that people do is they find what's good in the swipe. Like maybe it's the subject line. Like, their subject lines are good. So I'd use their subject line. And if you find anything else that's really important in there, anything else that's really juicy in there, I would create a solo email and go under our promotional emails and just use one of our promotional emails instead of theirs. Because first of all, if it's in a promotional sequence, in other words, if there's a campaign going on right now, if there's a pitch going on, an offer that's going on, and everyone's promoting it, everyone's getting the same emails, you'll stand out. So yours won't get lost in the crowd. Second of all, these emails we know convert really well. So that's how I would use it to promote affiliate stuff. I mean, now if you're talking about sending to other affiliate landing pages, in other words, you're not doing the landing page, you're not doing the sales letter, you're just doing the email stuff. So.
All right, perfect. The next question is about, will there be a lifetime offer for CopyPro AI?
So lifetime, i.e. we have to say this just by law, lifetime, assuming that, assuming that code doesn't, aliens don't intercept the code and take over WordPress or something. So yes, lifetime, bearing that. But yeah, so if you mean lifetime for the monthly of the AI, maybe one day, but we pay a hefty monthly fee for the AI services, as do every single AI company out there. To access the centralized databases, so to say. So we're paying fees to do that. They're all paying fees to do that. It's just a cost to do it. So if we can figure out what our estimated yearly would be, we might do that, but it's really probably going to be monthly for quite some time. And it's worth it because, I mean, the stuff that you can do with that is just insane. I mean, it's just, like we already have it to where when you generate a template in GrooveCopyPro, it's not going to be like, even if by some stretch of the imagination, your competitor it randomly generated the same exact series of words. I mean, so it's pretty random that would happen, but let's say that it did. So you'd have two people with the same exact email. Then the odds of that are really high. But now it's impossible. Now it's literally, the odds of it is exactly zero, because you're using AI to tweak sentences here and there, or paragraphs, and yeah, it's just impossible at that point. So the coolest thing about this is that you're getting copy that we know is convert. We can test the measurability of it fairly well using AI. So you can select your copy, you can create new copy, you can write your own copy, test it against that, have the AI rewrite your copy, and then say, what is the impact score? The impact score is how impactful is this copy? How much of an impact will this make on people? How many people will be impacted by it? So if you've got an impact score of above 55%, you're rocking. That means more than half the people who read it are going to go, oh yeah, I resonate with that. But some of our impact scores are like 85, 90%, incredibly high. So that's pretty damn good, so that's the benefit of doing that. So that's a drop in the bucket for any serious marketer to look at, to test headlines. For example, headlines on an opt-in page. Let's just go with something really simple. You have an opt-in page, you have a headline, and it's working. Well, are you split testing that all the time? Because that opt-in page will tire out. It's just the nature of the beast. I can't tell you how many times I've rewritten opt-in page headlines for customers and they were doing like $1 million a month on them or something. And then all of a sudden now they're upset because they're doing $250,000 a month. Well, they used to do $1 million. So I get it. Right. But still they're doing pretty well. So we'll just change the headline. It'll pop right back up to $1 million a month, because a lot of it is just fatigue. People are used to seeing it. So change that, and just the headline alone feature is killer. So you can write out a headline and have AI rewrite multiple versions for it, and have you or choose one of our headlines and then have AI write multiple versions for it. So it's so many different things you can do with that, with the AI package. It's exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We do have one more question on here. If you guys watching this one and you're enjoying the content, you have any questions, feel free to jump in and ask the questions right now. We are just revealing the last question that is in our comment box here, and that is coming from Nancy, saying, I really like CopyPro because I learn a lot about GrooveFunnels and butterfly marketing, but I'm not sure if it is multilingual. For me, it is French. So Nancy would need French copy. Would that work with CopyPro?
So Nancy, I take it you obviously speak French. I lived in France for almost a year, and my French is atrocious. So you can hate me all you want there, but I can tell you from living in France for almost a year, with one of my best friends who is a French guy, who's a French marketer, that when he would take our copy, at the time CopyPro didn't exist, so it was just copy I would write, and we would have it translated by a professional translating services from English to French, and it would read like the side of a cereal box. It would just read. There's no market savvy to it. It didn't make any sense at all. And so he'd start laughing at it, and he'd swear in French, and like, this doesn't make any sense. And so he had to go back and rewrite everything, because he knew as a marketer that if I say something like, for example, like, look, this is the hottest thing since sliced bread, that's not going to translate into French. Okay. In English, we know what that means. You would have a different expression you would change it to altogether. Or if you said something like, look, this is an absolutely killer offer, it might come out in French, translated explicitly to, this offer will kill people. So it's like, it's like the worst thing that we could ever do is to say, press this button and turn it into French or English or Spanish, or, well, English you got, but Spanish or German. So what we do is we put that in the hands of the marketers who buy it. So you take that copy and then you just translate it as you would anything else. Like if you hired an English copywriter who wrote it in English, they would have to translate it to French anyway. So that's what I highly recommend for people to do. It's like, don't ever have like a machine do that for you, because it will butcher it. It will make it sound terrible. So
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
There are no more questions, but there is affiliate marketing saying, thanks for all the hard work on CopyPro, lifetime member, and I use it every week.
Awesome. Thank you.
There we go.
Awesome.
Perfect. So there are no more questions. So I believe we could slowly wrap up
Okay.
with this week's. Thank you everybody for being here. We're going to do a short outro, and don't forget, every Wednesday we have a GrooveCopyPro at the same time, same place. So next week we're having Mike Filsaime back, so we're going to have more conversation about this hyper funnels and a lot more to come. So make sure you mark your calendars and you join on next Wednesday. Any parting words, John?
Just want to say thanks everyone for all your support, for being in the Groove family, and look forward to keep coming out with better and better stuff for you. We're just going to keep making it better and better. So thanks a lot for showing up.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. See you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And that concludes the Groove Copy Wednesday podcast, sponsored by GrooveCopyPro.com. I'm Mike Filsaime, and on behalf of Jon Benson, we want to thank you very much for listening or watching this podcast. Please visit us at GrooveCopyPro.com. Check out the webinar, check out the replay. Make sure, most importantly, to click where it says podcast up at the top right of the page, and you'll have an opportunity to enter your name and email address so you can get notified so you'll never miss an episode. We will always show up live in your Facebook feed or in YouTube every Wednesday at 3 p.m. We'll see you on the next Groove Copy Pro Wednesdays.